Hi, Howie Jacobson here. I'm the EIEIO of VitruvianWay.com, and today we're going to take a look at the AdWords Wind Tunnel. 7 questions AdWords can answer that will eliminate 99% of the risk of a new venture, a new startup, a new market, a new product line, a new service. And the AdWords Wind Tunnel metaphor comes to us via friend of the firm Perry Marshall, who way back in 2003 saw AdWords for what it was, the world's finest testing mechanism for offers. And he compared AdWords to a wind tunnel for testing an aircraft safely and inexpensively, as opposed to building the aircraft and then turning on the engines and pushing it off a cliff and hoping it flies. A lot of businesses simply push their aircraft off the cliff and determine its success by whether it crashes or not. And as my friend Danny Warshay of DoVentures.com says, you want to do bottom-up research. You want to do cheap, simple research into the market using very non-fancy techniques to figure out if the thing will fly. And if it doesn't fly, you want to be able to test and tweak until you get something, a vehicle, that is designed well enough to carry you and your business and your goals and your dreams on the wings of that market's winds. So without further ado, the AdWords Wind Tunnel, 7 questions that AdWords can answer. So here they are. We'll go over them, all of them together on this big fat slide here, and then we'll look at each one separately. So first question, is there sufficient search interest? Meaning, are enough people searching to make it worthwhile? Number 2, which messages resonate with my prospects? Using AdWords, you can test different messages very quickly and easily and figure out which ones work best. Number 3, how should I structure my AdWords campaigns? What ad groups should I use? Which keywords should go in each ad group? Things like that. 4, what does my website need to do to convert AdWords traffic? So once AdWords is working in terms of delivering traffic to your website, we can test what your website needs to do and be and look like in order to accomplish your business goals. Then, number 5, can AdWords deliver profitable traffic to my business? Once everything's set up and we've done a lot of testing and tweaking, does it fly? Can it fly on its own? If so, question number 6, can I profitably expand into bigger AdWords networks? We want to start, as we said, start safely, start small, but with every success we can then expand a little bit into larger and larger pools of prospects. And finally, number 7, can I leverage the insights from AdWords in more expensive and less flexible media where testing is harder? So even if the answer to number 5 is no, AdWords is never going to be profitable for my business, still, can I use it to figure out the best messaging, the best markets, the best niches, the best ways to get other people in other markets to see my advertising and come discover my business? So question number 1, is there sufficient search interest? And we do this by discovering the volume and expense of search traffic in your market. And once we do this, we can determine whether the AdWords Search Network and SEO, search engine optimization, of the Google organic listings are worth the effort. And you can do this with the keyword tool for free. Trouble is, it's often inaccurate. And when it is inaccurate, we don't know in which direction it's inaccurate, and we never know if it's not inaccurate. So basically you're getting a kind of very, very fuzzy go, no-go signal from a tool that really is not meant to give you exact data. So here, for example, we have the keyword tool estimating the traffic for jeans. So if we're interested in selling jeans, blue jeans or other color jeans, we would type the word jeans in and say only show ideas closely related to my search terms, and then on the left there you can see the match type is broad. So we're just getting a general picture of the entire market. So you can see here we have jeans, and the second one is skinny jeans, the third one is a brand name of diesel jeans, and then men's, blues, True Religion jeans, women's, Lee's, cheap, Wrangler. So it's a combination of styles and brand names. Let's make that a little bigger so you can see it. And then on the right we have the average estimated monthly searches. So we can use that to set up our very first campaign, the test campaign, because those numbers are not right and they're not going to help us very much. They're going to lead us to overestimate or underestimate. We might say, well, this market doesn't have much life in it, and it turns out that the actual number of searches is double or triple what it says here, or sometimes it's a lot less. In any case, once we set up that campaign with a couple of these keywords in exact match only, we will see exactly how many searches for that keyword and what clicks actually cost us. So question 2, what messages resonate with our market? We can test multiple ads to see which ones deliver more qualified prospects to your site. And Google does this scientifically with sort of randomization. Some people will see your first ad, some people will see your second ad, some people will see your third ad, and so on for as many ads as you write. And you can see it right in the dashboard. You'll see statistics on which ads generated the most clicks. You can use this data to write web page headlines and body copy. You're not just limited to ad creation. A good ad should be echoed everywhere else. And you can also use this data to choose niches within broad markets. So we saw in the jeans example, there's lots and lots of different niches you could use within jeans. So we could do a test using different ads to see which niche is hottest. So here we have 4 different ads. You'll notice they're all exactly the same except for the headline. The top one here is men's jeans, and then we have designer men's jeans, men's blue jeans, or skinny men's jeans. And we can look and see what are the click-through rates. Would the designer or skinny do better? And look at the click-through rates, the CTR. And this is obviously a very small test that we just did for purposes of showing you. There's not a lot of impressions and clicks, but imagine multiplying the numbers by 10 and you'd keep the same click-through rate, the CTR. So skinny men's jeans only got 1 click out of 561 impressions, or 0.18% click-through rate, whereas just men's jeans, the click-through rate at the top there is 1.54, twice what it is for designer men's jeans, and almost 3 times what it is for men's blue jeans. So you can see here that men's jeans by itself is the most responsive niche here. So then question number 3, how do I structure campaigns? You're going to then, once you've run a bunch of different keywords, you're going to see which ones that deliver impressions and either deliver or promise cost-effective clicks. Now I say promise because you may not get cost-effective clicks at the very beginning. You may have to do some work. You may have to write better ads, create better website copy, better processes, but if it's close, if it's close to being profitable now, some tweaking can almost certainly bring it to profitability. And then once you have your big ad groups, you can add variations in exact match to build them out. So for example, this might be our ad group structure. We might have 5 different ad groups based on our initial test. Men's jeans, skinny men's jeans, plus size men's jeans, stone-washed men's jeans, and bell-bottom men's jeans. And within each of those, within skinny men's jeans, you might have skinny men's blue jeans, skinny men's green jeans. With plus size, you might have plus size men's jeans, husky men's jeans, etc. Next question, what are the requirements of my website in order to convert this traffic? And here you can just, once you've got your AdWords running, you send traffic to multiple versions of your landing page and see which one converts the best. And the tool of choice here, if you're not ready to spend money, is the free Google Website Optimizer, which you can find right inside your AdWords interface. And it couldn't be simpler to create variation pages, stick a bunch of code at the top of each of those pages and at the top of your conversion page, which is to say the page you want them to get to when they're done. And then you can identify winners and losers. So here's an example from our client file that we shared in AdWords for Dummies. So you can see here you have two examples of a landing page, and if you can't yet spot the difference, we'll help you here. So you see one of them says help and one of them says yes, and everything else is identical. You might expect that the two would do pretty much the same, but using Google Website Optimizer, we compared these two and two other variations, and we saw this. So each of those colors at the top is a different page. There was the original in blue, and then variation 2, 3, and 4 in orange, yellow, and green, respectively. And you can see here, variation 3 has a 99.8% chance to beat the original and also beats the other variations, and that was one of the variations that we just saw on that other page. And so you can see that variation did a lot better than variation 4 and variation 2, one of which was help or yes. So just changing that one word made a big difference, and for your business that could be the difference between profitability and losing money. Question 5, can AdWords be profitable? So after you've done your initial campaign setup, you've created your ad groups, you've run your keywords to ads, you've tested those ads, then you've run that traffic to different web pages, and you've tested different web pages. At a certain point, you say, am I approaching profitability here or not? Can you test your way to improved return on investment, ROI, so you can buy clicks for less than they're worth to you? That's a very important question if you're sticking to AdWords alone. So here we can see a campaign that's been running for a while, and we can see, look, here is the average cost per click, and look how many conversions we're getting, and we can decide, is this worth it or not? So if the answer to question number 5 is yes, we can make AdWords profitable in our initial foray by doing enough testing and improving, then the question is, we want more. Can AdWords be expanded? If you can make your first campaign profitable, it's time to expand into other keyword match types. So if you can be successful with exact, now it's time to go into phrase and then broad, perhaps, and you keep checking. Each time you expand, you lose a little bit of control, so you don't want to expand into everything willy-nilly. You do a small expansion and you see, am I still profitable here? Do I need to tweak before I can move on to the next concentric circle out? If you can make keyword match types work, you can change different networks. You can go into the display network, or if you've only been in Google search, you can go into search partners. Once you're in display, you can go into different display matching criteria. You can tell Google to go broad, or to stick pretty close to the keywords you've chosen, or to specific web pages that you've chosen. You can also go into different geographic regions. If you've made one country work, you can go into another country. And if you've made computers work, you might try tablets and smartphones. So here's an example of expanding into other countries once you have your first country working. And you can see the cost per click varies, the conversion rate varies per country, but once you get one profitable, you might say, well, if I can make the United States work, let me try some other English-speaking countries. And you can see that all of them could add to your bottom line. And question 7, can I leverage AdWords insights, even if AdWords itself is too competitive or too small to be profitable? So you might say, well, AdWords didn't work for me. Well, slow down. Maybe it did. Maybe you can use what you spend in AdWords to discover winning messages, the best ads, the best keywords, and the best landing pages, the best web strategies, and you can drive traffic in other media where testing is impractical or too expensive. So you can use other media to drive people to a website that you improved with AdWords, or you can say, you know what, here's the best ads, let me turn those into TV, radio, newspaper, magazine, billboard, etc. So we can see here we have AdWords on the left side of the seesaw weighing more, being more effective in creating messaging than cold calling, search engine optimization, radio, TV, postcards, phone book, and there's a whole host of other things we could add to that. Facebook, banner ads, email campaigns, all sorts of stuff. AdWords is far and away the best testing mechanism for each of those other ones. So once you say, I'm going to commit to radio, or I'm going to commit to a TV ad, or a full page spread in USA Today, you want to make sure it works. And the best way to test that is AdWords. So if you want more, we have 3 tiers of service. One is AdWords Management, where we take over your campaigns, and we require our clients to have at least a $20,000 a month minimum spend in order to make it worthwhile and in order for us to get the data we need to do what we do best, which is really, shave costs and increase profits. Second is AdWords Coaching, and you can hire one of our senior account managers for an hour or 2 a month, where we go into your campaign, look at it with you, give you action plans, tell you what to do next. It's just like management, except you're doing the actual implementation, not us. And the third, we have a new offering as of January 2012, the Vitruvian Way Cafe, which is a low-cost group coaching program where you get a forum where you can ask your questions, and Vitruvian Way team members answer them, and your fellow cafe members answer them as well. And we also have monthly webinars, training classes, and office hours. So that's a way for lots of people who are maybe starting out, who are on the ramen budget of $1.49 a day because you're in hustle and startup mode, to take advantage of what we have to offer as well. And you can find information about all of those offerings and our blog and a lot more stuff at vitruvianway.com. For Vitruvian Way, this is your EIEIO, Howie Jacobson, signing off. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.